Hi there, trader. Welcome to this video brought to you by Admiral Markets. My name is Chris, and my focus for today is the euro dollar, pound USD, dollar yen, and Aussie. First of all, be aware though that this video is shown to a global audience, yet may not be suitable for everyone. Take a look at this link, select your country of residence, and contact the appropriate entity to find out more about that and other details. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange or global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is for informational and educational purposes only, and by continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer, plus you're aware of the risk involved when trading. Dollar, now looking at the weekly chart, price has been in this consolidation already for months and months, of course, after the big fall from 140 almost to 104.40-ish. Big fall, but price has gone sideways now for since March last year, almost a year in fact. And well, basically price has retested the 115 almost, and now it's a bit retracing back down. So at this moment, price is actually above support. You can see price is above the 21 EMA, and that is, of course, a potential support level. Price could bounce off that level and retest 115, go a bit higher to retest these tops up in here that I'm showing now with my drawing skills here. Those tops, price could go all the way to test those levels, basically, and then turn around. I am expecting a continuation of the fall because we had momentum here. So far, this has turned to be sideways, so I am expecting a break below these double bottoms and a continuation downwards for the moment, right? Unless price is able to break above this 50 fib, and I put a fib from here to here, around 120.80. Unless price breaks above that, until price basically stays below that level, I'm expecting bearishness. So for the moment, this could be a bouncing spot to retest those levels, but if price breaks through support and starts going below these bottoms here like this, then we can retest the bottom, and if then it breaks the double bottom, then we have more space down to parity, for instance. All right, so that's the bearish scenario if price breaks below support. So let's take a look at the daily chart, and I'm talking about this trend line specifically, and I would put a fib from here to here and say that typically price should not break below this bottom, otherwise, the bullish retracement scenario is out of the window. That's what I'm expecting to happen. But if price does break below that trend line and does break below this bottom and below the 78.6 fib, well then slowly but surely this is becoming more of a bearish breakout than a bullish bounce scenario. So for the moment, yes, I do expect a bounce at the 61.8 fib. How much? Well, time will tell. If it breaks above the 21 EMA, it could break and continue further to retest these highs. But for whatever reason, if it fails and starts to break like this, well then there could be a bearish scenario. So I'm basically looking at a potential long at 61.8 fib, but if one price doesn't get the legs and the steam upwards here, I'm moving it to break even, and if it does then break lower, I look for a hook back for more downside. All right, that's my approach on the euro dollar. Moving on to the pound USD, price is actually at this moment in a breakout to the downside. You can see if we connect these dots here and these lows, price is breaking through this support trend line. So what's going on with the pound USD? Well, let's take a look at the daily chart to get a bit more bearing about the long term. And you can see here, massive fall, right? Big downtrend on the pound USD. Price has in the meantime retraced to the zero line, has gone back all the way on the oscillator, indicating that the retracement could be in fact ready and finished. All right, so then we see price going back below the 21 EMA as well. Another signal that price could be back in a downtrend. We don't have any divergence between these bottoms, and basically the 8 EMA already turned bearish here, and we've been falling since. So price here, I would say on the pound USD is definitely looking bearish. It's turned back into a downtrend, and if I put a fib from, I think it was here to here, you can see that price respected the 38.2 fib as well, indicating a shallow wave 4 retracement often. So this is probably the end of a correction here, and this is a continuation of the downtrend. And the main target for the moment is 140, and after that 137, which is the minus 272 target. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. Now, of course, this bottom could still play a role, could still give a bit of a bounce. Always have to be careful. But for the moment, it does certainly look like price is in a bearish breakout. We've already had a breakout here as well, by the way, and that trade is working out fine. So I think a bit of a hook back to the broken trend line and a continuation down to bottom at 140.75, and then the continuation perhaps seems the most likely scenario. That's what I'm keeping an eye on, at least for the pound USD, is a continuation of this downtrend. Now I'm going to keep an eye on these pairs, of course, and these ideas that I have for trades on Tuesday and Wednesday morning in the live trading lab webinars. So take a look at that. Also, Nenet has his weekly FX recap with setups on Monday at 5 p.m. GMT time, and on Wednesday evening 5 p.m. GMT time, and Thursday evening we have education. We're going to take a look at pivot points on Wednesday and how to manage your open trade on Thursday. And I'm not really interested in this just because resistance indicated by the long-term moving average in purple is above it, very close to it actually, but also support looking at the 8 and 21 EMAs, they're pointed bullishly, so price is getting trapped and squeezed basically in between these support and resistance levels. Also, if we add trend lines like this, we can see it clearly. So quite tight space, not much really space or area to maneuver for price. I don't see much potential to trade either because I would like to see at least a breakout before I even think about considering a trade on a lower time frame or on a higher time frame. And I'm not even jumping into trade right away when I see a breakout. When a breakout does occur, I will analyze in the lower time frame, look for a pullback and see if there's any potential bounce there, and that might be something. But for the moment, I'm very cautious with this odd USD as long as it stays in this triangle. And then last but not least, the dollar yen. Obviously, we had a great break here on the dollar yen. Really moved down a lot, substantial momentum to the downside. And price did make a correction like this. And I was looking for a short last week, as you probably know, up in this region because there was a great resistance box right in here. And that's indeed what stopped price, made a turn, and it started to fall. Now, that's great. Perfect trade there. I mean, got some pips for sure. But it hasn't reached the main target as yet, and that's because price is kind of going pretty slow to the downside. There's not a lot of pace and momentum here to the downside, so it's moving lower, but it looks kind of corrective in a way, and that's why I think there's a decent chance that there could be a bigger A, B, C correction going on. Let me draw that B a bit better. All right, and that could happen. There is a good chance that might happen. Now, from that point of view, I'm keeping an eye on this trend line, because if that trend line breaks, there could be a breakout for C if price gets above the 21 EMA and the trend line. There could be a counter trend breakout to the upside to complete that C, and price would then have a good chance of reaching 115, 115.90 here, which is the target, the minus 272 fib target, and also, of course, the long-term moving averages. All right, plus we'll be hooking back to give you the full picture. Hooking back also to this bottom right in here, and also this bottom and this bottom, right? So that's a previous support level that could become resistance now. So if price gets to that, that would still be a very major important barrier for price and could turn price back down. So from that point of view, I think that there could be a counter trend move up to that level, and that could be a major resistance for price to move down again. All right, that could happen. Now, of course, counter trend moves are very risky, so price just might move up a little bit and then still move down like this. There's no guarantee it could get there, but if it does get there, it's a good resistance zone. At the moment, this could be a higher low, so I do think that there is a chance price could do this, but it is counter trend, so very risky. If price does break below the support, well, then perhaps this is all the retracement that the currency pair made. And we're continuing probably in that case with this momentum here we had. This was a correction, and then price is now again continuing with lower lows and lower highs. All right, so from that point of view, I think there is a good chance of downtrend continuation when this trend line, the support trend line, breaks, and I think price basically retest this bottom right in here, and if it breaks that bottom, well then of course I would put a fib from here to here. And I would be looking for continuation down to the minus 272 target off of this 38.2 fib. All right, and we could see price basically do this, or more realistically, probably do this. Something like that, then we could probably see a bit of a bounce at that target again. So that would be the scenario for downside with the dollar yen if the support trend line breaks. So pretty interesting pair as well. Well, I hope to see you in the webinars this week. Looking forward to having you join us, and of course, talking about all these currency pairs and other instruments as well, by the way. I hope that you take a look at our content as well. We got daily content being delivered on fundamentals, wave, and technical analysis at admiralmarkets.com or via social media, of course, as well. Thanks. I wish you good trading. Cheers.